up, it's that time again. The sun's not here, but we're on again. Grab your coffee, grab your crystals and gather round. It's not lunch, it's not breakfast, it's the time we found. For brunch, well maybe we're busy. For brunch, maybe we're lazy. For brunch, well maybe it's conquest. For brunch, or a vegan request. But brunch is the time that we make for each of us, where we ask Egnards dumb stuff, because brunch will always be the special time for Egnards and for me.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to brunch. This is an N officially sanctioned brunch, not like that other brunch on Friday night. What the fuck with brunch on a Friday night? We are here. We are excited, and by we I mean me. So maybe the royal we. I don't know. This is an interesting one because I have no timetable today. I can do whatever I want. I can stream until I get bored. And honestly, when I do, I will lie and say I have things to do, like I have to go to the grocery store, and you guys will all think that I'm busy. But really, I will just go sit on my couch and watch TV. So it's nice. And maybe if we're all feeling really, really lucky, we'll get through everything that we want to do, including Egdraws. But I also like to piss off Xander. And that is what we are looking to do today. Good morning to everybody. M3, stay the course, man. Listen, I know the struggle you're going through right now. I feel like if I keep talking to this fleet guy, that he will end up getting pissed at me. But from what I was told, if you move forward with a 7-star fleet, that you will have a much better chance. Maybe try reaching out to him again. That's what I was told. But I don't know if there's much more that I can do to help with your fleet climb. Hopefully it gets better. I think it will. Short term, I think it will get better. I need some granola, actually. I normally have yogurt and granola every morning, but I'm out of both yogurt and granola. Time to take over CG then. What's that, Pinky? What do we got to do first? We're going to do TB. So let's head, oh, fine. Hold on. Man, why is it that I could go all morning and nobody ever says a word to me? And the second I start brunch, like 18 people tag me on different Discord servers. What is going on? We have TB. We'll get started on TB. We'll see what TB looks like. We're not on Egdraws. No. I don't like that one always comes up first. We are on Rise of the Empire. Let's finish this out. Finish our dailies. Okay, Frank. Thank you. Appreciate it. I should have known that was coming. Oh. What is my quest? What do we have to do quest-wise? Defeat 10 clone troopers. All right. We're doing pretty good, actually, and it looks like I am going to need to do Ring of Kafrine. We have to change our strategy soon because we're getting to a point where I'm worried that I will not have content for Sunday mornings. Brunch at brunch time. What I would like to do, I wasn't joking about this, I would like to have the brunch song converted into a language of a country that would be roughly brunch time, around the time I do like Friday night streams, when I do Friday night streams. Now, obviously, the argument we could say is Australia, and Australia is English. But I think if we were going to do Australian, then we need to make it have a thick accent and use words like shrimp on the Barbie. But either way, I think it'd be very funny. Of course, I don't get any assists ever on this fleet. Brunch luck. Man, 9 Zetas from Fleet Sims this morning. I have gotten overall, I think, 4 total Zetas. Total. All right, let's check in on coffee times. Okay. You know what's funny, Xander, Vlad, if you're here, I'm actually not drinking coffee this morning. I have a nice spiced apple tea that I'm drinking. Yeah, 12:39 is perfect brunch time. I've gotten like 4 Zeta mats over 3 days. I've gotten like nothing. No, I buy it. I buy it in the store. It's Twinnings. I usually get it in the fall. I buy like 3 or 4 boxes of it in the fall, and it's one of my favorite teas. Day 6. And today I woke up and I just didn't feel like making coffee. Yeah, it should be in the tea aisle of your grocery store. I don't know if it's like seasonal or not. I imagine it's not. But it's one of my favorites. I do think that they have been tightening up the bonus drops. Next time we do a Zeta bonus drop, remind me. And I'd be curious to track it again to see if it's holding true to that like 1% number. Spiced. Captain Morgan. Captain Morgan was my drink of choice when I was in like college, early 20s. I loved rum. And Sailor Jerry's also. And then Siesta Key. Siesta Key makes the best fucking rum you have ever tried. And it's also dirt cheap. Uh-oh. This is problematic. They're hitting the force field, which is never fun. Okay, she's dead. Don't want to be the reason my guild doesn't get 45 stars today. I think that what's happening, my Gungans have been killing these guys too fast in phase 1 because they're mostly R10 now. And I'm not building up enough stacks. So night, in Portugal, it's around noon when I stream at night. Because that's the goal. The goal is a language of a country where when I do a nighttime stream, we can reuse the same exact brunch graphic, but convert it with like a dub. Because to me, that would be so funny. I don't know if it'd be funny to anybody else, but it would be funny to me. Yeah, I mean, I would, if it's true, I would probably be doing it in Portuguese, not Spanish, because I feel like people would get confused with Spanish and they would just be like, oh, Spanish, well, that's all these different places. Morning, Richard. Welcome to brunch. It's 7:45 in the morning. 7:42. I don't know why I lied about the time. Oh, well, so the goal is, right? We have the English one for the morning, but if I do a nighttime stream, everyone's like, it's not brunch time. So I figured like Korean or Japanese, because it would be right around like 8 to 9 in the morning. I would think German, because Moonborn is German and he'd be the one doing it. But Germany is only like 6 hours. So when I do a nighttime stream, it's only like 3 or 4 in the morning. So that's why I haven't chosen to do German. What oh my god, a Korean K-pop dub would be so funny. Like a K-pop Demon Hunters style version of the brunch song. Moonborn, get on it. Yeah, that's what I said, Con Warlock, about 6 hours. I know my time conversion to Germany. Because when Moonborn and I play games together, either I have to wake up really early in the morning, so if there's a school break, I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, or he stays up really late at night. Supper isn't really a thing in the United States. Maybe in different areas. You know, like the super late dinner. I think people here just use supper and dinner interchangeably. And then, you know, I grew up Italian, so we had the Sunday dinner, which was like at 1:30 p.m. and then you just fended for yourself for the rest of the day. Special time for Egnards. You'd make for terrible hobbits. I was actually told by my doctor, I was saying this on Friday, I think it was, that my I did some testing. My doctor says I have low cortisol, and they were saying that I should eat more regularly, so maybe I have to be a hobbit. And apparently, like, I don't actively intermittent fast, but like my eating habits tend to appear like that. It's not super great for me. How busy are... So Olive Garden, when you go to the Olive Garden, it's supper. It's always supper at the Olive Garden. No matter what time of day. I don't really... If I'm busy, I don't really feel it, honestly. I get like mildly hungry. But then I eat big meals. I eat like a glutton. I've heard they changed their breadstick recipe and that it sucks now, and that's sad. Olive Garden growing up, my wife and I were talking about this a few weeks ago, that when we were growing up, there weren't all these artisan and like trendy farm-to-table restaurants, and that like going to the Olive Garden was a special occasion. Like, it was fancy. Like, Olive Garden was where you went if you had an occasion. And now I would not dream of taking my wife to the Olive Garden. because when you're there, wouldn't Fortuna be a subsidiary of Olive Garden then? Because I feel like Olive Garden came first. And are you wholly owned by Olive Garden? I feel like these are important questions. Man. Gotta get my waves. Everybody told me this team was like super auto-friendly, and I'm not seeing it personally. I mean, I know I have Cup in here, but I was told if you have the 3, once you get the tank out, that it's basically auto. And I don't feel like that's ever been true for me. I think we should be good now. All right. A Swugga player. We're having, I mean, the day just started. It's 7:50, but I'm having a good day. Today is gonna be a good day. I have a feeling. I do actually, I joked about it earlier, I do have to go to the grocery store at some point today, but it's not time sensitive. Met up with my wife yesterday. We went to a brewery. We met up halfway. We went to Armada Brewing in Connecticut. Brought some beer back with me, so I'm excited to drink that today. Grab your coffee, grab your crystals, and come round. It's not breakfast, it's not lunch, it's brunch. We are doing good. I guess I can use Leviathan here because I don't have to worry about Mandalore. So, yeah, I don't have to worry about Mandalore, so sure. Let's do this. Why not? I got an IPA. I didn't actually even drink it yesterday. My wife got it and she liked it. I tried 2 of their beers. I tried a double IPA of theirs that I didn't really like. And I tried a sour. It was a guava sour. And I wanted to buy the guava sour, but they didn't have any for taking home, which was very sad. So I just bought extra of the one she likes. Have I seen my doctor about my vitamin D intake? So interesting. M3, I did. I went to a new doctor because my old doctor seems to be just gone. And we did all the blood tests and everything. My vitamin D level seems to be like on the lower end, but on the lower end of normal. So she's like, you're fine for right now. From what I understand from all of the tests that she had me do and get done, is that the only thing that she's concerned about and that I need to go get followed up on is the fact that I have low cortisol. And every endocrinologist that I have called in the last 3 days has said, oh, we specialize in high cortisol. We don't really do low cortisol. So fucking wonderful, right? My goodness. Oh my goodness. Is to inject me with cortisol? Maybe. That might be it. That might be what needs to happen. Oof. I mean, I think I'm still okay, but I don't like this. I've never heard of, I don't know, but apparently I have low cortisol. And it's interesting because I looked it up, and cortisol, apparently, when you don't sleep a lot, you tend to have higher stress hormones, right? And I tend to be a very high stress person, and I don't sleep a lot. So you would think that I have very high cortisol, but I don't. Well, what I've been told is that, one, I need to eat more frequently, and two, and the reason that I went to the doctor is because I was concerned about the fact that I have to go to the bathroom constantly, and I'm told that that has to do with the fact that my kidneys have no idea what the fuck to do with salt, so they just keep saying, nah, get rid of this shit. So apparently that's why I crave salty snacks all the fucking time. I don't fucking know. Don't fucking know. Maybe. It's possible. The good news is that, that as of right now, I took a specific blood test to see if I should be concerned right now about a genetic cancer that my mom had, and they don't seem to be worried about that, so that was good news. When do I eat my big meal? I eat my big meal when I get home. So generally, I will eat, on a typical day. I didn't really think that this would get this bad. On a typical day, I will eat breakfast, which is like yogurt and granola. I'll go to school. I'll have a protein bar at school. And then around like 7 o'clock, I'll eat like a big meal. But that shouldn't change my cortisol levels, but it has to do with managing how my body reacts. I don't know. Gotta go to a fucking doctor. Morning, user. It's not morning for you. I've already talked to you. Shut up. We're like teenage girls. The second that I woke up, 5:45, you were the first person that I saw. All right, so we know to just do executor there in the future. Okay, so the Jabba battle we save. We are going to do Hondo. Ah, man. Okay. Wake up something nice, which is basically just your mods. Like, hey, these are the mods that I got overnight. And then I go in and I put them somewhere. Even 96% cortisol. Can I have some of yours? Well, you know what the thing is, Xander? I was really concerned because over the last couple of weeks, I have had to go to the bathroom a ton. And I know people will be like, TMI, whatever. But so I was concerned about like my prostate. And I'm young. I'm young to have to be concerned with that. So I figured, let me go and let me get some stuff checked out. But apparently it has something to do with the cortisol levels and my kidneys being confused about salt intake and whatever. But this is just coming from my primary. And they're the ones saying, hey, you need to go to like a specialist. And all the specialists are like, we don't really do low cortisol. So we gotta see. We'll find out. I should get those rookie numbers up. Yeah, I mean, that's also a semi-concern. And one of my best friends just had testicular cancer like 2 years ago. And it went away. And I mean, he had surgery. But then eventually it came back in his lymph node, which thankfully he's in remission again. But like, it was a concern too. So, you know, I wanted to get that kind of stuff checked out. But it seems like nothing else seemed to be out of the ordinary enough where they were concerned about it. Morning, Womprat. But then, you know, what was it? Tom Green back on the Tom Green show. Hey, kids, love your balls. Play with your balls. Feel your balls. So you don't get cancer. Speaking of Vance, Vance would like permission to do one of my GAC rounds. He said, hey, if you're not in... Did I want my primary to feel my balls? No. He said, hey, if you're ever not in K1 or K2, can I do a GAC round for you? I was like, fuck, no, that'll never happen. It would make for great content if you'd be willing to do it on live, but I'd also be very concerned that he would delete all my mods. I think Tom Green was ahead of his time in a lot of sense. There is no me not being in K1 or K2. Yeah, listen, if you just popped in, Bantha, I mean, that's Tom Green. And if you don't know who Tom Green is, then you did not grow up in the late 80s, early 90s. Mid 90s, I should say. But that was his whole thing, because he had testicular cancer. And he was like, hey, like, I'm going to go on this whole platform and be funny about it, because that's what Tom Green does. But, you know, it was what it was for the time. You just log in and I'm carbon at 74. One of the problems with letting people do anything on my account, as other people are like, hey, can I do this for you? Rabid Beaver went on my account once. We did the GAC stream. I did his GAC. He did my GAC. And it was a lot of fun. And I didn't really know him very well at the time, but I trusted him. He trusted me. But one of the things is EA, once you change your password, you cannot change your password back to a password you've used in the past. And to me, that is, I mean, I get it. I understand why. But anytime I give out my account, it means that I have to change my password. And I can't bring it back to what I want it to be, which is very annoying to me. All right, this is everybody's favorite battle. And do I still have the paper that tells me spy? It says, the paper that I have over here says kill the spy first. So... yeah, but I don't want Vance to have my account. That's the other thing. Why would I want Vance on my account? I don't. We're gonna do this with all light side guys to see if we can scrounge up a dark side team. Oh, I didn't say I was busy. I told him no. I said, I'll give you the direct quote. The direct quote that I told him was, there is no world in which you log into my account. $47 stars. Nice. We have to we actually have to change our plan so that we can get to newer star unlocks. It's one of the things that needs to happen after this TB. I don't want Vance to have my account. He can't even play his own account. Come on. Oh, then he asked me why. He said, why? Do you think that I would delete all your mods? And I was like, I didn't think that before, but now I do. And then I gave him a list of like 40 reasons. You're my 13th reason why, Vance. Do I think they're going to keep expanding this TB? I think that this TB still has some life in it. But again, and we talk about this basically every stream. I think one of the problems with TB is the time crunch once you have solved a lot of the puzzles. And I think they need to solve that problem. And I've talked about having simming. I've talked about having per combat simming, where you have to set a team so that you can't use the team again, right? And you can't like unsim somewhere else. And I think that they need to do that. And that'll allow them to do more bonus planets more frequently than what they're doing right now. Has any guild maxed this? No. But you know what? That didn't stop them with LSGO. Nobody maxed LSGO because of the way that they did LSGO. I would like to see some new planets here, but they need to solve the time thing first. No, this is the best type of ASMR. This is like the, oh yeah, oh Jabba, oh Jabba, oh. Jabba, yeah. Knight, I don't remember the exact star amounts. I think it's once you hit the amount for like R9 material, I think it's like every 6 stars or something like that. It's either every 5 stars or every 6 stars after you hit like the different reward bumps. Oh, ooh. Well, so something that they can do, Con Warlock, because you have to remember that like Mandalore has R9 missions on it, is that they could have a bonus planet that opens up on day 6, and that bonus planet is Relic 10. Right? Like, that's something that they can do if they want to have Relic 10 requirements in Rise of the Empire. Not saying they should do it, but it is a possibility. I don't know if Jabba alone is going to do it this time. Might only go 1 for 2. Why not full Hut Cartel here? Because I don't have a full R9 Hut Cartel team. That's why. If I had a full Hut Cartel team, I would do a full Hut Cartel team. But my next R9 target for full teams is BKM for the Mandalore mission. All right, so last time we did Spy. Oh, and Clone Wars Chewie came back because he is not a smuggler, scoundrel. Poverty Hut. That is the user way. Poverty hut. Let's see if we can make it. Can we do it? Worm sex noises. So, Hobnob, what I told my guild at the last raid, and I'm gonna say this again, like, as we get into the new raid prep, is if you're in an endgame guild, stop trying to underman for the raids. Stop trying to say, hey, let me do this team R9 with 2 characters and this battle with 3 characters. If you're in an endgame guild, your raid prep should be, what teams can I get to Relic 9 that will materially help my TB and also allow me a raid team? And that's the thing that a lot of people seem to miss, right? And the mistake that a lot of people made. Our guild was able to grow combats a lot this year because a lot of our players were saying, hey, instead of taking 3 Jedi Vanguard to Relic 9, I'm going to take all 5. And I know I only need 3, but that gives me a combat on 2 different days. Speaking of user, Daniel, yes. Fucking K1 in 9 months of playing this game, dude. Like, insane. Insane. Like, I know, and he's here, I get it. I know that user spends a lot of money, and we joke about the poverty thing, and he has his whole, like, everybody, blah, 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 poverty. Like, I get that. I understand that. But I don't think that oh, fuck, we're not going to win this battle. I don't think that everybody understands just how insane it is to hit R9, to hit K1 in just 9 months. Like, it is ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. It is beyond ridiculous. Oh my God. Like, his account, when user and I started talking, I'll show you. We'll hold on. I'll show it to you. We'll pop it up right here. We'll go into this user's account. So when users first started talking to me in September, his account was 7.5 million. It was nothing. It was 7.5 million. And he was like, hey, you know, can you help me with prioritizing and, like, help me with this, and that, and roster review, but, like, a really in-depth roster review. And since September, we have taken this account from 7.5 million to 13 million. We have taken this to all 3 GL ships, right? Insane. His other ships fucking blow, but we're working on that. There's only so many ship Omegas that you can buy in this game. We have gone from, I don't even remember, like 2 GL? Was it like Ray and Hondo, I think you had when we first started talking? Like 2 GL, he has all of the GL now. And we worked together on planning GAC, right? I don't even scout on my own fucking account. I was scouting on his account. And every night I would send him a plan. I'd say, listen, man, this is not going to work. We are not going to win this battle. This guy has 8 GL to your 2 GL. We are going to try something stupid. And this is a YOLO battle. And it is going to, SOK or Ray and Hondo came soon after. And I would send him messages like, this plan that I've come up with, there is no reason that it should work at all. There is no reason at all why this should work, right? And it would work almost every fucking time. Like, every fucking time it would work. Like, holy crap. Look at this shit. Look at this fucking stuff. This is crazy. And I know, listen, I know that money plays a big role. I understand that it does. And he has spent more money than I can possibly fathom. Nooch did a video on this account yesterday. I watched it. He estimates, Nooch estimated like 10 grand, and I laughed at that number. I'm going to probably say, and I don't know, I literally have no idea, but I'm going to probably say somewhere between 27 and 30 grand on the account. And you can scoff at that and be like, fuck that. I don't, look, dude's got that money. If you've got that money, awesome. Do it. Do whatever you want. This is your hobby. Great. Fine. I don't care. I'm not, as long as your bills are paid, as long as you're tracking for the future, as long as you're thinking about yourself and you're making stuff happen, if this is what you want to spend your money on, then fine. Why am I going to say? I think that if this account happened last year, it would be a 6-figure account. This year, though, in the last 9 months with Lightspeed bundles, with the relic packs that we've gotten, there has been a lot of value. A lot of really insane value. But I think it's beside the point. Because we would play battles in Chromium against players who would play. These players would play against us. They would actually battle. And these players were 14 million accounts up against his 8 million account. Right? Like 14 million accounts with every GL, and we would win. And that's just, it's insane. And I told him, I said to him in October, I said to him in November, he's still giving me shit for this. I would say, hey man, we're going to hit a wall. We're going to hit a wall once we hit Kyber. You don't have the teams for it. We're going to hit a wall once we get to Kyber 2. You don't have the teams for it yet. And we have not hit a wall yet. Now, granted, I do think that we are going to exist on the edge of Kyber 1 and Kyber 2 for a little while. I think we're going to exist there for a little while because there are some things missing, right? We are missing the offhand counters. We are missing a lot of ship omegas that make some of these battles more reliable, but it's very hard to purchase those things. We are missing some like offhand teams like Luthen, which I think you just got up. Luthen just finished, so we get to use him next time. I really would like to see the new Bad Batch on there. I'd like to see the old Night Sisters on there. We are like, but we're getting there. And this is going to be a K1 contender account very, 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 very quickly. Fuck you, Frank. He is not. I have my own plans. You don't have to spend to punch up, Zap. You 100% do not. You can definitely punch up without spending. But there is a certain amount of accomplishment in doing this quickly, right? 9 months, there was a lot of very specific planning. There was a lot of very specific coordination. And I will acquiesce that there was something of a God complex for me when I would go on his account to do like little offhand things. And I get to just press buttons and buy whatever the fuck I wanted, right? Now, he does most of it himself. I do pop in for like 10, 20 minutes a day on the actual account and do things. But it's always fun when I get to just press buttons, go, I'm going to buy that. Oh, I'm going to buy that. Oh, I'm going to buy that. I can buy everything. How is his modding? Great that you asked that, because his modding is actually pretty damn good, right? We have a system for it. We have a plan for it. I will show you. It's right here. We're going to go back to there. That is my account. Right? So this, for a 9-month account, that is pretty good. And we have a mod plan. We have a mod focus. We are using my downline strategy, right? And we are building that up. I mean, listen, Frank 2, our top 110, 17.6, 17.06. I know that this squared screen shares, it's too wide. It looks on my screen. Hold on. Like, this is crazy. And again, we're using my downline strategy. That's what it is. And we are building, I think, over the last 2 months, if I remember correctly, user, we are seeing a mod score increase of about like 1 each month. So we've been doing very, very nicely there. This is why you follow Egnards. He is the one fucking person, the one person who listens to me. Everybody else who asks for a roster review, they tell me why they can't follow my advice. This is someone who I would tell him that and he'd go, I don't understand. I'm paying you. Why would I not listen to your advice? That's stupid, right? This is what, I mean, look, if you're not spending this kind of money, obviously my advice is not going to get you there that fast. His account got him there that fast because of the money spent. But it's just a sped up version of what my advice does for an account. A much more sped up version. It is like going at it 10x and saying, look, this is what happens. I mean, you'd be surprised, man. User, how many times have I told you, like, I hate that you're using crystals on this, but I accept you for who you are? Or something along those lines? Or like, this is really dumb to do, but it's your money, have fun. I think that's like every week at least, right? It all came down to tons of planning. Like, literally, I've deleted a lot of the sheets on our Google Sheet, but there was like 12 tabs at one point broken down. It's insane. It is insane. And we have our K1 match. And yeah, you can actually see the top of it up there. Let's see, excluding speed. There we go. All right. Well, let's get back to the game, right? Every couple of days, I'm always telling him, oh, I stretched my game for some reason. Shit. Did I fix my game? Okay, perfect. Look, Onslaught, man, at your level, there's no point. Now, what I do for user is I like literally sit there and I scout for him. He asks me for certain levels of advice now, and I go, there's no point for me to talk about that thing anymore because you already have everything. There's no reason to. But at the same time, there are times where I go, oh, hey, like we can scout this thing. We can plan out this match, this battle. A roster review, there's no point. You have everything. When an account has everything, there's no reason to review the account. I saw some while I was going through that and gyrating on this. First of all, good morning, Kimmy. You were probably punched up with your wins going into K2, and whether you stay there or not, I mean, enjoy the ride while you're there. Look, So, when it comes to advice, Storm, at your level of the game, because you have everything, the only thing of value that I can give you is really something like one-on-one work, where you say, hey, I want you to plan this GAC round, or hey, can you go through my account and tell me which teams I really need to, where I've maybe forgotten about getting the mods better or doing something with them. But in terms of planning an account itself, there's nothing I can tell you. You have everything. How many times have I had to scrap plans? I have had to relearn how to do roster reviews multiple times because of user. Like, literally multiple times, where I've said, all right, we're going to get this by December, and then he'll say, hold my beer. And I have to just accept that I have to do an entirely new plan. In fact, I gave him a new relic chart this morning that I would expect to take like 6 weeks, and he's probably going to finish it in 2 weeks. Ooh, I just got word from my other TB officer. Just close this down. He is telling me, heads up, we are 17 million plus a Malachor. All right. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So we are doing pretty nicely today. Where did I finish? I finished not well, I don't do day 1 really, or day 2 most of the time. So 116 waves with I think 5 days. I think I did T2. So missing T1, P1, and a couple of battles that I just don't like doing, which is not bad. Oh, I already put that on there, user. I gave you a couple. Does user still need my help at this point? I think that he thinks he needs my help more than he actually does. But it's fun. It's a lot of work. I woke up this morning to him scouting his opponent, and I was like, what? I'm supposed to do that. Look at you, all grown up and saving China. All right. Da-da, da-da, da-da. Do you have a mod recommendations for raid graphic? I don't. I use the raid server. So Pariah, I always acquiesce at the end of I always acquiesce to Pariah and his raid graphics. I have them on my Discord server. I believe there is an area on my Discord server with those infographics, but they're also on the raid Discord server. How many waves did you finish at? I think it was like 105. I don't need to help you with Coliseum. You finish Coliseum before I even get there, and you're in your top 10 very comfortably. Right? That's the important thing. As long as your rewards are maximized, you are where you need to be. There are other things we need to focus on. Was it 100? Ani, are you online, Ani? Can you see how many waves the user has? Because you're in the same guild. I don't get to top 10 globally consistently. It is a pointless metric, user. It is. Remember, you are a lazy man who has hired a lazy man who likes to be efficient. There are certain things where we want to spend our time as as smartly as possible. Somebody asked me when I should use. Somebody asked me a few things. One, when you should use ally points. I just save them. Every once in a while, if I get to like 300,000, I do buy this. It's not a smart buy, but I do buy it just because I need it. And then somebody else asked me, how do you know you're in an endgame guild? And that was before I started flipping out on about users account. 117. There you go. So you did better than me, but I also didn't do day one. You're in an endgame guild when you're focused on getting the new thing, and your guild is always focused on getting the new thing, not because you can, but because that's the only thing left to get. And if your guild is pushing like 42 to 45 waves or stars in TB, then you're at a point where you start needing R9 combats. And that is a really important thing, is that you need to start thinking about how am I going to meaningfully increase those combats without just doing random stupid relic 9s, right? And that's why new raid prep, it's important to start thinking about full teams. Now, if you're in a casual guild, or you are in a guild in the mid game or the early late game, then maybe you don't want to think about that, and you want to think about how to maximize your raid score. But if you are in a guild at that end game, you want to think about how can I maximize my raid score while also increasing everything else as well. User, I'll see you later for GAC, man. You roll your eyes at Balin and Mace. I actually really like my Balin team. I want to bring them up a little bit more. But I'm working on a couple of things for this year. I am working on finally finishing this, getting all of the Zetas in the game. I'm very close. Some of these, obviously, with the Lightspeed tokens coming up, I will be able to get. I would also really like to finally finish up all of my G12 characters. But at the same time, with the Lightspeed tokens and with the Era Pass every month, I am hoping that a lot of these I can finish up without needing to worry about using my G12 gear. Obviously, right now, Boba Fett Sign of Django is not eligible for any of those things. But everybody else here, maybe Probe Droid isn't eligible too. Everybody else here, I'm just hoping, hey, give me this token so I can get them to relics. That would be really great. And then I'm completely done. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Yeah, I mean, I don't need Balin for anything, but I like the team. It's a fun team to play. I do like using them. I use them any chance that I can get. Let's see. I want to just check the... And will always be special time for Egnards and for me. The 15 Omicron team, yeah. I don't think so. I think it would. I think it just would not work as well as you wanted to. How are my marquees looking? Well, user last brunch, for those who remember, forced me into whaling on the era. Well, he did the whaling. I just pressed the buttons. Into whaling on the era characters to get them to 70. They're all at 4 stars. So I will be able to get the era, the Lightspeed tokens, right? Because even Barris, when I buy the episode pass, she will get to 4 stars. New Maul. It's not showing in my game. I've seen people post screenshots of their game where this actually shows. But the first tier gives era materials to level up Maul. And it also gives, I think it's 2 Kyber Lightspeed tokens. So that's the free-to-play available one where you get them to 4 stars. It costs about 19,000 crystals to do that if you're not buying the episode pass, which could be largely worth it for people if that is a going forward kind of thing. All right, this is the one that's shit. Hate that pack. Is this new? No, this is just the same as last time. 4 stars, yeah. And another 3 at the 5-star tier. I didn't see the 3 at the 5-star tier. I don't think I'm getting to the 5-star tier because I don't have them all at 5-star. I have Yoda and Chewie because Yoda and Chewie is immediately going to like Relic 9, probably, just because I think he's a funny character and I really enjoy that. I'm going to step away for just a minute because I want to refill my tea, and then we are going to get into we will get into the raid, and then we can do some talking and roster reviews and fun stuff like that. All right, we are back. Let's see. Do you need all of the era tunes like that or just a couple? I believe for the 4-star tier, you need 5 of the marquees. We can look. Let's see what the data mine says. Let's check the data mine up. As predicted, Vance is going crazy. You need, for tier 1 of the event, you need all of your era characters at era level 45 and 5 of them. So, because there will be 5 that are available. At tier 2, you need 5-star on all 5 and Yoda Chewie. So I'm assuming that means 6. And EL 55. So that's something to keep in mind. Sorry, Vance is having a meltdown in on Discord, and I'm fueling the fire. You're kind of annoyed with the Datacron minimum requirement changes that CG snuckily made, but at least the rewards in T2 and Maul's event changed my planning so I can still get them. I didn't. Did they change something? Oh, just Luke at 45, but everyone else is at 4 stars. Okay. But you should kind of have that. Oh, so 5 stars. So tier 2 is 5 stars on all 5. And Yoda and Chewie is at 55. Okay. So then that's why I was reading it in a weird way. All right, perfect. But all right, let's do the raid. Let's get through it. Let's do it. Da 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 dee 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 dee. 111-111-0-0. We are doing the raid, which means I get to tune out some more and just talk to you lovely people. But let's do this one. Morning 346 Reaper. We are doing great. It is an exciting day here. Is a fun day on the farm that is Egnards because I don't have any time crunches, which is always great. I know you cannot hear the game right now just because I'm fixing something real quick. Perfect. Good. All right. I might lose Hondo here, but that's okay. Honestly, I don't. Will this work? Oh, it does. Perfect. Did I watch any of the games yesterday? I didn't because, again, my wife's been away. We both drove out. I drove. We kind of met at a halfway point yesterday and just had a couple beers at a brewery. So there's a lot of driving yesterday. I will probably put on one of the games today at the very least. Is TB my favorite game mode? I mean, yes, but also no. I find TB to be just as... I find it to be a puzzle that I've already solved, so I don't really find it to be that interesting anymore. Solving the puzzles is what's interesting to me. Finding ways to do things in ways that other people aren't thinking about is what's interesting to me. I enjoy the game a lot as an overall game. So being able to help players enjoy the game more is honestly a lot more interesting to me than the game itself is. Does Vance know I'm on stream? I mean, probably not. It's Vance. Come on, let's get real. Everybody come around. It's so funny. Gosh. It's just it's funny watching him spiral out of control. I feel bad sometimes, but oh man. No, my Gungans are all R10 yet. I don't have the materials yet. Are you looking to fund that? I'm looking forward to when I get to like do an R10 that is something that isn't the most ridiculous thing in the world. Personally, like I am excited for that day. But today is not that day. I need more of the R10 material. I need more signal data. Frank, be well, man. Right now is tough for signal data because that ship, the B-Wing, is a cantina farm, because of course it is. So I've also been getting the shards through the whatever store that is, through the Era store. Oh my god, are we seriously gonna die here? Oh. Alright, let's do that again. Just so that I don't I can get more signal data. I feel like buying the B-Wing through the Era store is basically like buying myself more signal data. Is really what's happening there. So Adis, I mean, I have the video talking about doing that, and I can do that. The thing is that right now there is nothing. Like I do have enough signal data. Oh shit, I should have. I do have enough signal data right now for my. I don't have a lot of signal data, but like I have a good amount. So I don't feel like I have to farm slower. Yeah, I've been using the episode store. I'm not quite as far ahead as you are, but I have been using the episode store to do it as well. Brunch, dude. And I need a fourth monitor now so I can read Discord while I'm doing this. I'm not spending it as fast as I can farm it because I want to... BKM is my next big R9 team. And I kind of want to make sure I have all the materials for it first, since getting the team to R9 one character at a time doesn't materially benefit me in any way, shape, or form. So I'm kind of at a point where I'm like, all right, let me make sure I have the R9 material for the team before I use it. And then, of course, I'm doing, like, reactively, I'm doing some GAC stuff, like small stuff. There we go. Okay, we gotta log into hot utils now, so that we can change our mods over. And data fetch, I can check to see his meltdown right now. There we go. And let's get that mod switch in, base loadout. We're gonna update that to the new configurations. Guess I have to change that over to rating party. Special time for Egnards and for me. Wonder if I should do my GAC tonight on stream. That's updated. Load the clones. All right, we're almost there. just do a stream that starts now and ends all the way at 5 p.m. for GAC. We'll just go all day. I'll get some deep vein thrombosis. Ship farms do fucking blow. Though new ship farms are no different than new character farms. They're the same. I've had bad luck with B-Wing so far. Yesterday I went 1-11 at some point. There you go. Yeah, this is normally just the time that I can stream because I try not to stream while like my wife is awake. And she is a late sleeper. Obviously, that's not an issue today. But we made we turned it into something real fun because when we first started the brunch streams, I knew it was early in the morning. I did not expect much. I did not expect people to be here. I was streaming at first to like 10 people. When we got to 15 people on a stream, I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. I was like, wow, there's 15 people watching me. And right now, between the two platforms, we have 84, which is cool, which is super nice. We need more legacy characters in this next raid. You know, the interesting thing is, whether to agree or disagree, I think that CG, I think they kind of screwed up this time. And they made this raid way more friendly than people realized. And a lot of people just got very heartened by the fact that that there was a lot of new characters and they kind of gave up on the raid. And guilds in the early or mid game that did that, it was like a huge mistake. Because there was so many ways to increase your score to better than what you were getting in the last raid if you were just willing to upgrade a couple of characters. And a lot of people were just not willing to do that. And to me, was insane. Hey, Scribe, what's up? Scribbles, how's it going? There's been amazing growth in Swugga's stream watching over the last... Yeah, I mean, I just mean from it being an early perspective, just from it being early in the morning for a lot of people. But there's been a lot of new faces in the Swugga world, and there's been a lot of new faces in the streaming world of Swugga. And I love seeing the new faces, and I mean, I'm still fairly new comparatively. But I like seeing what people in the mid game have to say, and I like seeing like Big Boat, who's in the earlier game, and like him figuring out the game, you know, and like Keblock, those guys. It's just really cool to watch them play a game that I haven't played in 9 years, and how it's changed over the time since. Scribe is always coming in here and. He likes to lurk for a little while. He likes my American accent. But you also have that surprise of how many people outside of your own country are also watching this stuff go on, you know, because you go, oh, it's 9 p.m., but it's not, or it's 7 p.m., but there's a lot of people where it's not 7 p.m. for them. Oh, I was supposed to stun the other guy. Silly me. Edis, where were you, man? That was your job. Having some tea as I work at home. I wish I could work. Listen, I think, especially with this last raid, that it was very easy to max your raid without the new characters, without Hondo. Hondo wasn't needed for that because of just how easy they made it to do it, right? In a way where you didn't have to think as much. And I think that there are a lot of people that just got really frustrated and they tuned out on the raid, and they hyper focused on Hondo when they shouldn't have hyper focused on Hondo. The idea behind Hondo was that you grow into the raid. Now, obviously, that is a problem when, you know, guilds are at the top box and now they're getting lesser rewards. But that wasn't something that needed to happen this raid if you did it right. It just made it easier because it was a team that made it so much easier to do. I think that what they should do is that they should have a raid character that you get from the rewards, that you don't need the character to max, but that character's team would be like an auto team. So there's like a huge incentive to wanting to get that. Yeah, the smart guilds, they were in a good place. They were in a good place if they did it right. Con Warlock, that is correct, but there were a lot of ways, and I did the video on this. Like, if you looked at all of the things you could do with older characters, even just getting the solos, even getting a 300k Enfys, 300k Hondo, 300k Tarkin, even just doing that in the beginning to get a 1.5 million score, a lot of guilds would benefit from that. There were a ton of guilds in a position that would benefit from doing that, but their players weren't willing to do that. And I think that that was a big problem, is that players and guilds were not willing to kind of say, hey, this is what you need to do. And some people were like, I just don't care to do it because I don't want to do it. Now, I think that going forward, there is a little bit of a change in the plan because players can work on their legacy while they're also working on their new marquees. So you can kind of do both in tandem. Is that going to change how we farm for the next raid? I mean, possibly. You know, that might be a big shift in how we plan for raids. Morning, Allie. That's the whole point, Phil. Other Phil, not the Phil that we hate. Is that 1.5 in the beginning was smart for a lot of guilds. And then doing the hard focus to just Tarkin and Scorch to Relic 9, I know that that seemed very daunting to a lot of people. But doing that actually saved them Relic material. And I did the video on that and pointing to why that would actually save most guilds tons of Relic material and allow them to focus on something else. And some guilds were smart enough to say, hey, that's what I'm doing. And some guilds are talking about doing that now. And I'm like, well, where have you been when that was like the important thing to focus on? So for the next raid, Scribe, I am sort of in like a mild hoarding mode right now. Like, I still want to focus on my TB teams, but I am light hoarding towards it because I do want to be able to jump into it a little bit harder than I jumped into Order 66 right at the beginning. Nice. Perfect. It also materially helps you as a player to move up in guilds. And I've said this to people before. I say this all the time. You've heard me say it. People still joke about it. I'm just going to refresh hot utils while we're doing this. But if you are playing in a guild where you're saying, I want to max the raid, and your guild is saying, hey, I don't want to do that, we don't want to put in raid effort, you need to move guilds. I don't give a shit if you have friends in that guild. You are playing above your guild's level, and it is going to be, it's going to make the game boring for you. right? If you play in a guild that is at your guild's level, you are going to be much more interested in the game. Now, granted, there are some people that played at the high level and they decided, hey, I need a break and I'm going to go to a more casual guild for a while. And that is fine. But if you are a motivated player, and as a motivated player, your guild isn't motivated and your guild isn't trying, you're not going to have fun playing the game. You got Berm coming in. What is up, Berm? Sexiest voice in Swugga. I know Scribble's going to hate me for saying that. That's okay, though. I think Berm's got a sexier voice. Scribe has like that English thing going on, but Berm has like that deep baritone. That radio 1980s, just full on beautiful, beautiful voice. You know, and I've said this to my guild. I've said this to my guild leader, because he's asked me before, like, yeah, I'll do it. It's fine. We already have a threesome partner, Scribe. If you had the English accent, you'd be unstoppable. My guild leader has asked me a few times, like, hey, would you ever leave the guild? Like, you're like this really heavily motivated player. And I've said to him, like, if I know I could be in a better guild, I know I could be in a guild doing 3 more stars in TB, and that's fine. But as long as my guild is advancing, as long as we're motivated, I don't need the best rewards. As long as we are pushing ahead, I don't need the best rewards. I only need that if our guild is stagnating. And we don't. We push ahead. That's the thing that a lot of officers, I think, just don't understand is a lot of your guild mates, they don't need you to get them to the top rewards available. They just need you to see that you are pushing. Scribe is here. This is awkward. Let's do yours. I believe you'll go next, so I can do that. Get you dead. Take you out. I think we're good now. Ooh. Maybe not. Okay, maybe we're still good. I was worried about those stacks, but I think we're okay. Scribe only invites me to things when he knows I can't make it. Every time he invites me to do Tribe Talk, it's like, oh, this is a bad weekend. And he goes, I know, that's why I asked. He's like, I heard you're out of town this week. Is there a big reward jump 2 to 3 stars? Not really, unless you are at like an R9 reward jump tier. So between the little star rewards, there really is not a big jump at all. There's no reason to invite Phil to anything if he's not going to R9 his Wampa. That's the way that I see it. Personally. Like, if your whole brand is Wampa, and you are refusing to capitalize on your own brand, then what are you even doing? That's how I see it. Wookie, I'm pretty sure that Scribe hates that. That's why I call him English all the time. Phil, trigger warning, please. Alright, we're gonna go after you. Look at that. A special report, Club 38, where all we do is crap on Phil. I can't invite Phil because Phil is a family man. Phil has his priorities in order. He refuses to do brunch with me. He refuses to come on voice with me because he has kids to take care of. I have invited him to do it multiple times. I don't normally have guests on here, but every once in a while I reach out and I say, hey man, can you do this thing? He turns me down every time because he's got his priorities right. And I respect him for that, and that's probably the only thing that I respect him for. Because there's really nothing else that we can. Let's get some more of these guys. You stop streaming to get your kids. She's not awake yet. I love it. No, but not with the Wampa. The Wampa is where his priorities fall out of line with where they should be. Gotta get these Mark III holo projectors. Nothing else there. Let's see how we're doing in TB right now. We're hitting Ring of Kafrene without even needing any more deploys, which is kind of cool. Let's check out, where are we? We are at 730 minus 727. 730 minus 727. So we need 3 million there. That was easy math. Plus 730 minus 564. So we need 169. Plus 341 minus 241. So we need 269 to hit that next star. We have 298. And then we just got to change our... So Alex, when you do preloads, I always stop a preload way beforehand, specifically for that reason. And we let the officers walk up the rest of the preload. It is the smartest way to do it so that you do not have to worry. If you set your preload to the very end, it just doesn't work very well. So I set my preloads like 20 million below. And my guild is very, very bad at tagging me at that point, because that's the point where you tag me so that I can change everything. And then you have the officers do the rest of it. It is the smartest way to do it. And then I have what's called the preload stop and the hard stop. The preload stop is where you stop putting deployments there. And then the hard stop is where you also stop combats. And the hard stop is usually about 10 million beforehand, and I can handle walking up the rest. It still happens every once in a while. We have definitely screwed up a preload before. I will probably have a preload screwed up again in the future. It is what it is. But you need to have your buffer for preload to be at least 2 players worth of preload, of GP. Otherwise, if 2 people deploy at the same time, you're kind of screwed, right? So that's kind of how that goes. We're going to reload hot utils one more time to make sure that I go back to my base set. Because if I don't do that, I will forget to do it, and then I'll load it later, and it'll be bad. And base loadout. Load our base loadout. Yes. Oh, what would we do without hot utils? What would we do if CG actually gave us the utilities to do these things without needing someone else or a third-party utility? Well, Alex, the people who should min-max are the officers. You elect like 2 or 3 people who are usually around at the end of phase. So me and my other TB officer, we're always able at the end of the phase to preload. So we are the preload guys. we are the ones that walk it up to the very end. And if I close everything out, I wait like 15 minutes before I actually do the preload. Now, we have people that do shit too. Like, I had a guy this time deploy to the wrong territory, a locked territory. It thankfully didn't affect us. But we were like, hey, that's going to close out our star, and now we're losing out on combat missions. Kind of sucks. Like, we got to do better on that. Why would the CG spend time if the community does it anyway? Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but mid-game, early game, people who don't spend on that utility, you know, it becomes its own thing. All right. I'm going to fill up my mug one more time. We have done everything we can possibly do in the game. We do have a bunch of reviews today to do. We do have Egdraws that needs to get done today. But again, we might not do it just because it'll piss Xander off, and we like to trigger Xander. So I will be right back.
Rush to reviews. Egnards is having a break and taking a Rush to reviews. Talking to me that what pack sex should sell to you. Ooh, to you. To you.
And we are back. I am lucky Mr. Nards. Whatever winter virus I've presently got is doing all the passing in an offward direction that I can handle. The cup is presently running over. I don't know what that has to do with what I said, but okay. Fine. Are you just saying I won't give you shit today if you do not do certain things? I saw the Swugga ad yesterday. It was very funny. When I was watching the user video that Nooch did, it was the one where the girl is like, yeah, decent. It was that one where they're like, oh, use Farm Boy. His ability is great. It'll attack the enemy. No, I'm going to use Chewbacca. And it was like the worst Wookiee roar ever. It was so goddamn funny. Like, what is this? This is terrible. Oh, okay. his His bullseye ability is top tier. No, it's not. Nobody uses Farm Boy. Fuck off. Fucking Farm Boy. It was it was such a bad ad. But you know what? Like, we're not the target market for the ad. You'd think that they would not pick Farm Boy Luke, though. If I were to highlight things for an ad, if I were to pick characters to highlight for an ad for the average Star Wars character, the average Star Wars fan, it would be Commander Luke Skywalker. No, I would do Jedi Knight Luke. I would do Darth Vader. I would probably do The Mandalorian, especially because of the new show. I would maybe do Cal Kestis because of the games that are very common now. Boba Fett would be another character that I would almost definitely do. I would pick characters that are like really insanely popular. Fucking Farm Boy Luke. It is what it is. All right, we have roster reviews to do. We have shit that needs to get done today. Let's see. Roster reviews. Let's pop up this first one. We're not going to put it on screen yet because I like to play Guess the GP. So, Apricot Warrior, what time is it? It is 1:47:00 right now. 147, Apricot Warrior, top 20 of your fleet, exclusively Leviathans. Are you coordinating? Yes, good coordination. Your assault battles look to be in order, except for Secrets and Shadows and Fanatical Devotion. You have R9, Duel of the Fates, Sin. Take one from this playbook. Peridia Patrol is R7, currently working on Ahsoka. Now I need signal data to get her to R9, not sure where to focus next. BKM and Balin are close. Pico, Leviathan, and Jar Jar are a lot further away. Are you dead set on continuing with the current farms you're doing? Dead set on getting Ahsoka to R9, as you should be. I just saw that you sent me a message, Ali. I'm going to check it after this review. Otherwise, I'll get distracted. And I'm so easily distracted as it is. Dead set on getting Ahsoka to R9. After that, I'm not sure. I like the idea of finishing off the closer targets, but unlocking Pico would give me the satisfaction of having all current GLs unlocked. How highly do you value efficiency versus fun farms? 80-20 efficiency to fun. Staying in Kyber is very important. I've been wanting to have BKM and GAC for a while, but I've been tending to prioritize GLs. Not all. I have all PG tunes at 7. So this is an interesting account, I think, because Fanatical Devotion is still at CT2, which tells me maybe you don't have Third Sister yet. You don't have BKM yet, which is interesting as well. But you are very GL heavy, but no Leviathan. So at first, I'd want to say something around like 13 million, but I'm actually thinking that we're somewhere around 11 million. So let's pop this onto the screen, and we have to fix this because I was playing with it. 12 million. I was playing with it earlier, so we're going to move this around just a little bit to make sure that we can see the whole screen. There we go. We are at 12.4 million. Profile. Let's look at the raid history. We're doing 7 million in the raid. Raids are, we're doing 191. So you're overperforming your guild in the raid. Eagles fan, get the fuck out. Broncos country. Let's ride. Tools. Climbing with Executor. But you don't say that you're getting into the top 10. I know you can do it with Executor, but unfortunately, .gg kind of got rid of the ability for you to track where people landed each day. I don't know why, but they did. We are looking at no Executor. Interesting. We have a lot of ships that are not yet at 7 stars, and I recommend this to everybody. is that outside of going for Executor, you should always be prioritizing 2 to 3 ships at a time, because ship farms suck. They're so terrible. And if something comes out that makes you want to do something, you have to either invest a ton of crystals or you have to take 6 months to do it. So outside of Leviathan, I don't particularly see a specific ship that's most important. Maybe B-Wing, because the ship is really nice now with Home 1. But I definitely would take like B-Wing and probably Hyena Bomber and Vulture Droid, because Malevolence can be very annoying to fight. Not hard, but annoying. And doing like 5 battles a day. Nothing more than that. Just adding to your farming plan to focus and prioritize ships. Ships are the one thing that you really need to put a little bit of prominence toward, and your goal is to get to the end, to get it to the finish line so that you are 100% done. But you obviously don't want to over prioritize ships that you're not currently using, because then the rest of your account suffers. I do want to check on Third Sister. So you do have Third Sister, but you're not doing Fanatical Devotion yet. Do you have the rest of the Inquisitors, or are you a freeloader? No, you have the Inquisitors. So you should be, especially with Relic Delta now, with Third Sister, Fanatical Devotion should not be an issue for you. Let's see what we have left here. Leviathan's at 770. Okay, that's where we are. Hondo's at 850. Just really need Captain Silvo. Balin is very close. Definitely finish Balin. Definitely. You're so damn close to Balin. You might as well finish Balin. There's no reason not to at this point. Ahsoka to R9 is a must. So, Encheng, when it comes to Cantina ships, we've had this discussion, and I've talked about this in the past. There are ways to farm those ships without going gung-ho on them. You can do 5 battles a day on a Cantina ship, and then the rest towards signal data. But you are right that because they can be sped up so much, they are not as limiting for when you need a new ship. So I don't think that there's a wrong answer there, but my preference is always going to be to have it already done so that I don't have to worry about it when things are being released and I'm thinking, oh crap, I'm in a signal data crunch. I think it's just, you will always get to a point where you find that you need this, you need a ship, and something you expected to win fails, and it's just nice to have those counters. But at the same time, again, you don't have to go full in. You can say 5 battles a day. Everything else signal data. Jar Jar not important. Bo-Katan not important. Leviathan. Anything else? No, these are all done. Bo-Katan's not really as important anymore unless your guild is really starting to push into R9 planets, in which case, because the Bo-Katan mission gives more points, it can be advantageous to do that. You get some kind of double up there. But she's not doing what she used to be able to do, and with Relic Delta, even against Lord Vader, not even thinking about this Datacron set at Relic 7 is not really doing as well as she used to. I find some use for her in killing Gungans and in killing Third Sister and Inquisitor teams. But all of that is to say that you are so close to Balin and you are so close to Bo-Katan that I definitely would finish those two before you finish Hondo. And you can use this time while you're finishing Balin, while you're finishing Bo-Katan. You can use that time to finish Vane and Silvo. Right? So it's not about what do I do first. It's about, hey, I can slow farm these guys while I'm R9ing Ahsoka, while I'm finishing Balin, while I'm finishing Bo-Katan. I can get these characters out of the way. You might not be able to do it on just 5 battles a day. But if I remember correctly, Captain Silvo is a Cantina farm. I'm going to check that in game just to make sure. Silvo. He is a Cantina farm, so you can speed him up as quickly as you want once you get there. And Vayne is at 6 stars already, so you can probably just slow farm that pretty easily. So I would say slow farm towards Hondo, pick 2 or 3 ships, slow farm them, finish R9 Ahsoka, finish Baylan, finish Bo-Katan. And then I would, after Hondo, really strongly go through to get Leviathan. I know that Executor can get to 1 on its own, but the best time to farm a ship is when you don't need it. Because just like your Profundity, and your Profundity is like 5 stars right now, but just like your Profundity is probably doing what it needs to do at 5 stars, and you don't have to worry about it, and you don't have to star it up, you can do the same thing with your Leviathan. And you can say, hey, I'm going to do this really slowly, and I'm going to get it to 5 stars, and I'm going to build this up over time and maybe do 1 refresh a month so that I can get it in a reasonable time, not 3 years' time, and get as many of those shards for free as possible. So you're kind of in this like cleanup area. I don't think you really have to worry about anything other than that. I think you could probably get all of that done in the next, I'd say like 4 to 5 months without too much issue. And honestly, Ahsoka, Baylan, Bo-Katan, probably within the next 3 to 4 weeks, if we're being completely honest. Okay, let's see. What does Allie have to say? We sent an AI ad read. I can't do a movie trailer narrator voice. Let's see. In a galaxy where everyone carefully plans their relics, one player said, "Nah, Wampa." Then we get like the record scratch, you know, like the 90s. Like, you're probably wondering how I got this far. Yup. Relic 10 on Wampa. That's right. Not on a galactic legend. Not on some shiny new meta squad, but on the furry rage beast who lives to eat rebels and ruined grand arena brackets. And then you get the Wampa roar, which is something like that, which I'm sorry, that probably destroyed all of your ears. Is it optimal? Absolutely not. Oh, fuck you for making me say the word absolutely. Is it hilarious? Oh, painfully. Watch as your opponent load into battle. See a Relic 10 Wampa and immediately whisper, "What kind of monster am I fighting?" And then we go on and on. I think, Allie, we need to tag that. You need to change that so that it meets the criteria of the stupid AI ads that we've been seeing, where the one whiny person goes, "Let's do Wampa. His middle special is so great." And then something like that. Or somebody's like, "You should get Jedi Master Luke. He's awesome and he transforms." And then somebody else goes, "No, Relic 10 Wampa is even better." LSTs for ships. We're not getting LSTs for ships. And you know why we're not getting LSTs for ships? Because we only have like 60 ships. Because we only have so few ships, it's not happening. Unfortunately, you can't set Wampa on D. At least you can't set him on D and make his Omicron work, because you have to set a 5-man team. Let's move on to the next review. Let's see. I've been tagged. Oh, that I can deal with later. Next review is Valendras, who I did you a roster review not too long ago. I believe you said on Discord, this is for an alt account. What does the top 20 of your fleet arena look like? 19 Leviathans, 1 Profundity at the time of this writing. I am number 17. Are you coordinating? No, but I probably should. Yes, you probably should. Ew, auto mod, come on. Assault battles. Rebel Roundup is interesting at CT2. That tells me no Jabba. Secrets and Shadows is CT1. That's fine. No Pancho Brothers because you go through the Church of Sin, and not the good kind of sin, but the bad kind of sin. The kind of sin that isn't drugs, hookers, and rock and roll. Don't have Peridia Patrol, not that big of a deal. Relics for the Kylos, then Slicker with Gungans and BKM. Are you dead set on continuing? No, I am flexible. I'm flexibility. How much is it for a roster review? What could a roster review cost, Michael? $10? How highly do you value efficiency? 100% efficiency. Are there any favorite characters you want to prioritize? I mean, I think Gungans are slept on, but I'll abandon them for efficiency. Shards for important proving grounds characters. We are not super close to anything really important. Quadami's at 250, so that's kind of close. Listen, Gungans, I love them. Obviously, I'm going for an R10 Gungan team. They are great. The problem is they don't lead into anything. They don't offer you anything, right? Because there's no raid right now. You do have to mod them very specifically to get them right. And there are a lot of counters to them in GAC. BKM destroys them. JML destroys them. Treya destroys them. Phoenix can often destroy them. Great Mothers destroys them. Right now, they're doing really well on offense because of this ridiculous Datacron set. But I think that for the majority of players, there are just a lot better options for them. There are just so many things that you can do that are better than Jar Jar, as painful as that is, because I love it. Now, this is an alt account. I'm assuming you don't have Jabba. You're working on Slicker. You don't have BKM or Gungans. I am going to say 6 million. 10. Damn. Are you sure this is not your same account, Valendras? I'm going to check on this real quick. From a specific user. Valendras. In a specific, I could have swore, because why would you name your account the same thing? Let's double check. Unless it's not named the same thing. Sent in a specific channel, roster review request. Yes, from a specific user. Valendras. You sure? I think this is you. Why? The other account I reviewed. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Because I thought you said this account I'm reviewing is your alt, but it looks like the account I reviewed in December was your alt. So I don't know. Let's take a look. We have Jabba, but you're only doing CT2 of Rebel Roundup. So that is kind of weird to me. That is a little bit insane. Rebel Roundup should be very easy for this account. Like, it looks like you don't mod stupid. Like, obviously not every mod is good, but, well, I guess Vader doesn't really matter. Cartel, let's see. Boba Fett. Like, you have, well, this Bosch Bosch's mods need some love. This is kind of ridiculous to me. A 3-speed diamond. Shoot. Okay. I will. Man. Well, anyway, Rebel Roundup should not be hard for you. I want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 raid history. You're not really even. I guess this is your alt because you don't really even do the raid very much at all. That's interesting as it is. in front of the Executor. You have the 3. And you say that your goal here is 100%. So, like, if somebody has an alt account and they're like, oh, I want to be 100% efficient, it tells me that you play the alt account frequently. So, not even getting raid rewards a lot of the time kind of just baffles me, to be completely honest. We're very close to Kylo. Have all this stuff. Jar Jar, we're not at. Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan, those Lightspeed tokens are coming up, I believe. Okay. I would definitely say that obviously finish Slicker because you're right there with Slicker. Your Poncho Bros not being at Relic 9 when you're a 10 million plus account is just mind-boggling to me. I doubly think this is true for alt accounts and secondary accounts, is that you should be focusing on passive resource acquisition, because this is an account that you're not going to play as intently most of the time. So I think that after Slicker, you really should pivot Padawan Obi-Wan and Master Qui-Gon to make them, to put them where they should be. And coincidentally, your Quad May is at 250 and is your closest conquest character. So I would, you will have Quad May in not that long from now. 270, 290, 310. So about 4 months you'll have that, but you'll want Duel of the Fates before those 4 months. I think you have Night Trooper. You don't even have Enoch unlocked. I think what I would do with my Imperial Remnant is I would get Death Trooper Peridia to 5 stars and Enoch to 5 stars, so that you can at least capitalize on the 2 tiers of the Peridia Patrol event, so that you can get these guys up for free. And you'll need them for the event before you fully get them for free, but at least get a couple of months of free materials there, more than anything else. So Slicker, Duel of the Fate Brothers, bring these guys, try to get that team just to 5 stars to be able to do the tiering of it correctly. Not important. Ahsoka, Bo-Katan. You have all of this stuff. Afra's not important for you right now. Bo-Katan, I would do. And I don't know the exacts of the Lightspeed. Actually, I can look, right? Because Nooch has that stuff on his server. So let's look at that. Nooch 2 good graphics, free-to-play farming guide. No, where are the Quest Lightspeed tokens? So we are going to see those ones in April, right? So you probably don't want to level up like Paz Vizsla when you can get him up in April, or like IG-12, and Beskar Mando you already have there, but you'll also get the Zetas for it, which will be nice. And there's an IG-12 and Grogu one, it looks like. Okay. So I would hold off slightly on Bo-Katan then, so that you can make use of the free resources to get her. But I think that I would start slow farming towards Ahsoka, because her event, her R9 tier event, is probably one of the stronger investments that an account can make at this level. So while you're kind of like slow rolling towards this and five battles a day on General Syndulla and Padawan Sabine, you are working towards Duel of the Fate at Relic 9. You're working on the 5 stars for those Imperial Remnants so that those can put in work for you on their own. and you are working towards the idea that you are going to push to Bo-Katan. It's IG-11. Okay, it's too small. I couldn't see in the screen. That makes sense. Yeah, it's IG-11. You're right. Thank you. But I would start pushing towards Bo-Katan as like a soft target and deciding how you want to prioritize the light speed tokens you'll get here in order to like, so I think you'll be able to do either Paz or Grogu. I don't think either of them is a Cantina farm. I think they're either both fleet farms, or one's a hard node and one's a fleet node. Decide which one you want to do. The other one, just slow farm it, because you won't be getting that as tokens. Keller and Beck, you can start to bring up to 7 Relic 7. But in the interim, while you're waiting for April, I would be slow farming towards Ahsoka after you do that other stuff. It just is what makes the most sense to me. It's all small little things, but I think they are important things. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what we got. Lots of people typing up roster review requests today. Let's go into Reaper. Okay, so Warlock is telling me Paz has 1 extra Zeta. So if you are Zeta starved, and you probably are, it makes sense to use the token on Mando. So, or on Paz rather, because you'll get a free extra Zeta, which is useful to you, and you can just slow farm IG-12 and Grogu. Thank you, Con Warlock. Moving on to Reaper. We've got let's say 212-0-0. Let's see. Top 20 of your Fleet Arena looks like 10 Leviathans, 7 Executors, 3 Profundities. A bit lazy in Fleet Arena. Being lazy in Fleet Arena kind of really sucks, because that is where you get the strongest amount of your materials. The crystals for Fleet Arena are insane. It's just a beautiful thing. Assault battles are in order, except again, Secrets and Shadows and Fanatical Devotion. Duel of the Fates. Duel of the Fates are R9, which is good. Peridia Patrols are non-existent. And Baby Bow. Well, you should have Baby Bow, right? Because I think there was a Jedi Knight. There is a Jedi Master Kenobi. And so Baby Bow would be on the team at R5. And you can bring it up higher if you want to. I think I brought mine to R7 because of Relic Delta. Farming better mods for JMK and the Stranger team. Farming for Glat. Are you dead set? No. 90 efficiency, 10 fun. Any favorite characters? No. Shards for all of my proving grounds are unlocked. I'm going to say that this is a 12.5 million account, because it just feels like a 12.5 million account. 12.2 million. When we say, what are you currently working on? Farming better mods. Okay, great. Like, farming mods is something that all players should be doing at all times, and it's why it's important to make sure you have the perfect primary and sets for every character, because then you can put them in your downline. We've talked about the downline before, where you prioritize certain things. You put the new mod on an on the character that's most important, and then you cycle that specific mod down to like 5 different teams, right? So that's just inherent. Everybody's always farming better mods at all times. Doing raid, it's insane. It's crazy. Like, you have the ability to do all this raid stuff, but you're not. Definitely some laziness there. Your guild is around that 200 million point, and that really sucks, because that 200 million point, I think it's 235, if I remember correctly. I can actually check in my game, because my game is still up. It's either 260 or 235. 245, so I was wrong. But your guild is so close and should really be pushing towards that box, because they can probably do it without that much effort. And it will materially help you. But once you hit that box, you should probably stop and not go that much further, because we're looking at a new raid in about 7 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 9, so it's just Ahsoka is left. You have all of the ships. It kills me that you are lazy on Fleet Arena. And look, what you can do, and I don't really suggest doing this, honestly, but if you're lazy in Fleet Arena, just Relic 10 Darth Revan, and you can auto that battle every freaking time. You don't even have to worry about it anymore. Your Fleet Arena is probably going to hate you. And is it necessary? It literally is not necessary at all to do that. Because the battle is half autoable anyway if you know how to do it correctly. But it would make it so that you get those crystals every single day without even really having to think about it. You just log in, you hit the button, then you hit auto. Again, I personally do not recommend or suggest it, but it is an option if you're looking to maximize materials and be lazy about maximizing those materials. Gear tracker. We probably have pretty much everything except for Ahsoka. Yeah, you have everything except Ahsoka. So, like, I mean, when we talk about Ahsoka, I don't know why. This is only a couple of days ago, and well, maybe Peridia Patrol hasn't come around since then, because you just say don't have, but you clearly have them at least Relic 1. I would prioritize getting... What I would do is prioritize getting the Dead Boys to Relic 7 as your first priority for the Ahsoka requirements. Get them to Relic 7 first. Do not worry about anything else, but get them up evenly so that when the event comes around, you're not stuck doing the R1 tier with Enoch, right? Now get them all to Relic 5 so that you can do that. Get them to Relic 7, get Ahsoka, bring Ahsoka to Relic 9, and then do your Peridia Boys to Relic 9. At this level of the game, it honestly pisses me off so much when players want to play efficiently, but they don't want to think about the future. They don't think about passive resource acquisition. It's not about ROI. It's not about getting a return. It's about increasing the free flow of materials for yourself easily, actively, and thinking a year down the line, 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line. It is the smartest thing that you can do right now. Beyond that, it's hard for me to help you because I look at an account where you clearly can do like 6 million in the raid, but you're choosing not to. And that can be a really, really, really tough thing, is like, well, if you're choosing not to do things, where do I draw the line and say, hey, you should be doing these certain things to kind of help you out? That's the tough part with trying to match your effort level to how much we want to put into saying, hey, do this, do this, do that. Efficiency is at R9 Wampa. I did R9 Wampa. Let's see, what else? Secrets and Shadows, Fanatical Devotion. Fanatical Devotion should be... Okay, third. Your Inquisitors should be able to do this. I know Fifth Brother doesn't have his Zetas, but you'll be able to get that with the upcoming Lightspeed token. But you should be able to do the event. You should, with Relic Delta active, Fanatical Devotion is a lot easier than it used to be. Like, so much easier than it used to be. Secrets and Shadows, I'm not as worried about. At your Relic levels, because you have Balin, you honestly should be able to do the CT3 with the Great Mothers team. But it's not something that concerns me. It's not something that bothers me. Fanatical Devotion should be easy for you. Forest Moon with Inquisitors should be easy for you with Third Sister. Even if you're not doing it that way, well, you don't have all of the Zetas here, so I would maybe do it the Third Sister way so that you don't have to Zeta any of these guys. But you should not have a problem on that, even if you have to remod for the event. These are free resources that you are leaving on the table every single month. relic gear level. Let's see. I personally, because you have everything, right? Other than Ahsoka, and we've kind of talked about that. I personally am someone who tries to get all of my GL teams to Relic 8, especially now in Relic Delta Land. Rey is definitely one that would be very smart to get to at least Relic 8 right now in the current game economy. Lord Vader is one that I'd get to at least to Relic 8. Ezra Bridger is someone I would get to Relic 8. There's a lot of like Relic 8 priorities that I can see here that you may really want to consider. Drogon, I would get to Relic 8. Stranger Starkiller, I personally would probably take them to Relic 8. It's hard for me to give you more than that, because there's a motivation problem where I don't really know what your motivation is in the game. And if I don't really know what your motivation is in the game, I don't know if I should tell you to go for full teams or not. But the primary analysis is, while working on Ahsoka, focus on the dead boys first, then get Ahsoka to R9, then get the dead boys to R9, and then I would be working on R8ing these key characters, so that you can be useful to your guild and you can be useful to your own reward structures. That's all I got. Got another one here, Narvel. Let's see, what time is it? Narvel, 2:20. Let's say 2:22, install for 20 seconds. We're at 93 concurrent viewers right now, which is a record for Brunch, by the way. Well, actually, we hit 99 earlier, but we could not cross that 100 viewer threshold, which was killing me. $40K nerds. I was re-listening. I read them years ago. Re-listening, though, I bought the audiobook of Heretic, the Eisenhorn trilogy. I didn't buy all three of them, though, but it was pretty good, the audiobook. Let's move on. Narvel. Top 20 of your fleet, 5 profundity, rest executor. So this is a little bit earlier on. I placed rank number 1 daily with executor and H1 bounty hunters. Are you coordinating? No fleet shard Discord as far as I'm aware, but I've amicably messaged individuals to coordinate payouts. It looks like your assault battles are pretty nice. Places of power I want to take a look at. Secret and Shadows CT1 is fine. Fanatic Devotion at 0 is fine if you don't have Inquisitors yet. Duel of the Fates is at R7. It's probably fine with where I think you are in the game. Peridia Patrol R7 is an overinvestment, which is not bad at all. I enjoy it, going for it early. I don't have a problem with it. I kind of love it. What are you currently working on? Starkiller, Lightspeed Token to farm. Balin GM was thinking Inquisitors to Reva ready and BKM after. Are you dead set? No. Highly efficient? Not particularly. Shards for any important Proving Grounds characters. Nothing too terribly close, though Malgus is at 216, which we do want to keep in mind. I'm going to say that this account is about 6.5 to 7 million. 5.6 million. This, I mean, from what I'm looking at on my screen over here, this looks to be a pretty nice, concise, efficient account. I am a fan of accounts like that. That makes me kind of happy. We're going to go in here. 1, 2, only 2 GL so far. That's okay with where you are in the game. Raid history, doing about 1.8. Guild wants you to be doing roughly this, like 1.5 or so. So you should be good there, and they can give you kind of context on whether or not you need to go further. Actually, before I look at that, I want to look at the ships. Just Executor so far. We are Kylo's. I think everything's going to be far, right? We have JM. No, we don't have JML, but we have Jabba. We have JML. Starkiller. have Leia. So you have Jabba, Leia. Okay. So if we're talking about 99% efficiency, I have talked about this before. I've done graphics on this before. I feel like I talk about this every stream, so I'm glad we're bringing it up again because I haven't talked about it at all during this stream. But there is a square that kind of happens, or a quadrilateral, a parallelogram, a rhombus, a trapezoid. I don't know. It's just 4 points that kind of happens with requirements between Jabba, Profundity, Jedi Master Luke, and Leia. And there's a lot of overlap there. And it's tough because JML is going to be in a weird place, I think, once Satil Shan comes out, where he loses Jedi Knight Revan. Though you're probably not going to unlock Satil Shan right away anyway. I just feel like it's very smart for players to exist in a world where if you're getting one of these things, you should get all of these things. I would probably get Profundity next because I don't think you have a dire need for Jedi Master Luke right now. And getting this to 5 stars will allow you to just get shards for free every month. And I said this earlier in this stream, even though you're getting first in fleets every day, the best time to farm a GL ship is when you don't need that GL ship. When you do need the GL ship, oh, hey, you're here. Awesome. When you do need the GL ship, and you know what? I just noticed that you were talking up there too. When you do need this GL ship, you need to like spend so many crystals to get it up and running fast. When you don't need the ship, you can let it sit in the background very easily, very nicely, and it works really, really, really nicely that way. The added bonus with Jedi Master Luke is that it will fundamentally help you with conquests going forward. But that's really, as of right now, the only positive I see to him because again, Jedi Knight Revan is not going to be on that team anymore, and you're going to be going for Satil Shan. You're going to be getting it in 4, 5, 6 months, 4, month 5, month 6, one of those. And he's going to be losing his team outside of Conquest. So I would definitely get Profundity first. I would do Profundity. I would do JML. That is probably where I would then go into Inquisitors and BKM after that. Do Starkiller now. You're using the Lightspeed tokens to get him. That's completely fine. But I would push out Inquisitors and push out BKM to get and finish this square. Because we look at right, you need 1,100 materials here. You need 900 materials here. But you also have the overlap from Mon Mothma that you're going to be getting. And the added bonus is that you already have Leia. And because you already have Leia, that Admiral Raddus Jyn Erso team with Leia really helps them punch up against teams that they're having trouble with. So it's kind of like it bugs out the AI in the game. So you kind of want a Raddus and Jyn Erso anyway. And that'll help you kind of get that as well. Do I think JML loses some viability in Conquest with the upcoming changes? I don't necessarily think so. Do I use JML a lot? Not really at 14 million. Do I see people at 5, 6, 7 million still using JML? Yes, I 100% do. Because he functions as a tank when you put him with Watt and you use tank tech against certain teams, which helps you with survival feats. But especially for people who don't have the Padawan Omicron, and I know that you're like, everybody should have it, and I kind of agree with that, but not everybody gets it, and that is what it is. It's still going to allow you to build out those buffs if you are an earlier player. So I think that I would do Profundity again, which will help your Leia team. It'll give you kind of like a little bit of a Mon Mothma team, but not super really. I fucking hate you, Con Warlock. I literally fucking hate you. Profundity, Jedi Master Luke, then do your Inquisitors, then do BKM. That's how I would do this. your investment in Duel of the Fates and your investment in Peridia Patrol are fine for where you are in the game right now. If you want to take the Duel of the Fate boys to R9, I'm not going to fight you on it because I think it's super worth it. But where you are in the game, I don't think you're going to see a benefit really until much, much later. And it may be much better for you to get these other things done quicker. That would be my suggestion. Do you have any other questions? Oh, man. They will lose viability for kill 20 enemies, yes, but we don't see that feat as much anymore. I think normally we used to see every sector would have one survive feat and one kill feat, and we don't really see that anymore. Does Leviathan in October change the profundity equation? I think no. I think one of the best things that a player can do is have all three. Because you might not need Leviathan in October as well, but you just let those ships sit and get the free shards. We don't know what's coming next. You know, Profundity is a really great, super easy executor counter for GAC. You want to have all three GAC ships. Or you want all three GL level ships. You want them all. I don't think it even semi-changes the equation on that. I actually have to start my conquest stuff. Maybe that's why I can't stream all day today, is because I have to do my conquest, start doing my conquest guides. I literally haven't even started it. But I don't think it changes that equation at all, even in the slightest. Having all three is only a benefit to players, especially players that want to be efficient. So yeah, in Conquest, we used to have one kill feat, one survive feat in every sector. Now we see like 2 or 3 kill feats in every Conquest, which is not as many. But I still think, you know, when we're looking at the damage reduction, that using JML to call allies will still be useful. It's just not going to be as reliable as it used to be. All right, let's keep going, shall we? Those are the only 4 roster reviews that I had before today. I know a couple came in today. Let's try to get at least one more done, shall we? So, if Thrawn 2, let's say 234 install. So yeah, correct. So far, it looks like Relic Delta is not turned on in this conquest. I think it's on purpose, and I think that they are testing the new data disk without causing us problems. But it remains to be seen if they turn it on later. But I do think that it is off on purpose. Okay, we are at 234, so let's pop in with Thrawn right now. Well, Thrawn, you got a 14 million account. What the fuck could I ask you to do? Fleet Shard, mostly Leviathan with 1 or 2 executors or profundities. Good communication on Shard Chat and split top spot. Assault battles, all max except Peridia Patrol. That's a mistake. 14.1 GP. It is such a mistake to not have that done. Currently working on Spider-Maul and bringing up relics for R8s and R9s of TB battles. Flexible on farm. Drop everything to get GL Thrawn. Well, GL Thrawn's not out yet. I want GL Thrawn too. But remember, we don't know what's going to happen with legacy farms versus era farms and how that is going to impact GLs. Because a lot of veteran players, typically the non-marquees are the easy part, right? So it's not even about dropping things. It's about you're just going to have to invest in the era when Thrawn comes out. You got everything. Look, I'm going to tell you, man, if we're talking, all we can really talk about right now is teams for TB. There's literally nothing else that we can talk about with this review. Peridia Patrol should be R9, hands down. But if we're talking about the teams themselves, I would take Peridia Patrol to R9. I would take Dark Trooper Moff Gideon to R8, and I would take Scout to R8. That gives you a very nice, reliable team on Mandalore for usually 2 to 3 days for the Mandalorian mission, or the DTMG mission. The Peridia boys you're doing because they're passive resource acquisition. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon and Scout Trooper you're doing to just kind of help that out in the long run. We want to kind of look at full teams, right? Let's just sort this by relic level. Let's go down to relic 7. Okay, what do we have up here? Let's go to First Order 99. I would consider SLKR to relic 8 as well, at least for as a TB team. You have Kylo, you have Sith Trooper, bring up Rey, bring up General Hux, bring up Kylo Ren unmasked. You have a great TB team, and now you have an even better Kylo Ren as a tank. It's another great option when you already have some of it kind of already done for you. The Spectre team should be R8, right? You have Ahsoka, bring that Spectre team to R8. They're another great TB team. Really, it comes down to just fleshing out the teams that should be at Relic 8 or higher. And Spectre is definitely one of them. Missing here. Do we have... I'm curious about your Gungans. Okay, you don't have the Omicron, so we're not going to say bring those guys to R9. They're really only worth it if you're bringing them to R9. About Jedi Vanguard, what are we looking for here? You have 3. Okay. And this kind of comes back to what I was talking about earlier. And if you don't want to watch the whole stream, it's what I was saying. Like, if you're in an endgame guild, and I think you are, right? 706 million. You want to start thinking about, when it comes to raids, not underman raid teams, but full teams, because they'll help in TB2. So you have Depa, Temple Guard, and Jedi Master Mace Windu at Relic 9. There's no reason not to take, like, I would do maybe Jocasta Nu. And a lot of people say, they would say, like, Ayla for that team. But, like, stop thinking about things about how can I underman them. Think about how I can bring an entire team up, because this is a great team, especially with the Depa Omicron. But you're letting them kind of waste away in Relic 8 Purgatory when they can really put in work for you. Let's see. 66. Your clones are all there. Vader is perfect. So it's just your full teams. Really, what about our Jedi? Jedi is another pretty nice one. You have a Jedi Master Luke at R10. Hala's a fraud if enemy brings a GL. I'm thinking more about TB than I'm thinking about... I'm thinking about TB if we're thinking about that team, and I personally think that if somebody brings a GL against it, then you've kind of won that exchange either way. So you're forcing them to bring in a GL that they wouldn't otherwise be using elsewhere. Seems like... I mean, Jedi are another... You have all of the... Here's the thing. If you have an Omicron in TB, you should be willing to take that character to R9, especially if you're in the end game. So, like, you have Jedi Master Luke. Fucking Cal Kestis to R9. Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker to R9. Build up that team so that you can use them fully. Queen Amidala's R9. Great. This is all about just the efficiency of it, to stop thinking like a player 2 years ago, because a player 2 years ago was thinking about how they could bring things up as little as possible to do the maximum. You are at a place where you need to think about how can I make my account a full picture. Beck is kind of better PvP wise. Don't know how much more she brings PvE wise over Beck. I don't know. Do Beck or Ayla. I just know that a lot of people pick Ayla. I don't particularly care about the argument either way. But that's what you got to think about is just full team acquisitions. No, you are at a point where you've got to say, hey, I am committing to bringing full teams up. And now, because you don't have to do anything, I normally bring up one character at a time. But because you're doing this specifically for TB, like as an example for myself, doing the Mandalorians to R9, I'm not leveling them up until I have the materials to bring them all to R9. Because something might come up in the interim. Right? So I'm like, let me get all the materials so that I am in a good place. And if I have to pivot in the next 2 to 3 months, I can pivot if I want to pivot. But it's all these just one-off characters that you need to do. That's literally it right now. Everything else you have. You want to drop everything for GL Thrawn? We already kind of talked about that. I probably will drop everything for GL Thrawn as well, because it's fucking Thrawn, and I love Thrawn. And if they give me Eli Vanto, I will bust a nut. Like, goddamn, I will go crazy for an Eli Vanto. All right, we'll do one more. Hobnob, we will do one more today, because I do have to work on my conquest thing, and I do want to do Egdraws. Oh, I shouldn't have pressed that, because now I can't play guess the GP. We're going to say 242, just in case you need to come back to this. Top 20, mostly Leviathan, 1 profundity, few executors. We are effectively communicating. They reached out to me, finally. That's what you got to do. You got to make them want you. That's why you don't call her for 3 days. So she's like, oh, did I do something wrong? I'm just kidding. Don't do the player's handbook. That's just a joke. All assault battles challenge tier 3 except Secrets and Shadows, which isn't even challenge tier 1. I really would consider getting that to challenge tier 1 as a minimum. Duel of the Fates R9. Pretty Patrols R5. Currently working on getting Rey in the next week. Since my last review in March, I've gotten Leviathan, got Reva Quad, R9 Duel of the Fates, BKM, Exile, Mandalore ready, and Zephyr ready in the last few months. After Rey, I've got some touch-ups to do. L3 for Rey. Not a lot of people really use L3 with Rey anymore. I feel like every time there's a Datacron, there's a better usage. But L3 is a staple of a normal Rey team. Depending on how you want to use Exile, or I'm assuming when you say Exile, you're talking about Ezrael, like Ezra. You don't really see it that much anymore. Zori to 5, Peridia Patrol to 7, Nihilus and Scion to 5, Malicos to 7 is a personal project, DTMG to 5. You'll go broke. Same, brother. Eli, I will bust a nut if Eli's in the game. Where I'm struggling to think is Delta, Leia. Most of my GL teams are at R5, so I feel like I should take them to R7. That includes Jedi Knight Revan, Hoda, Bosch, Kerr, Skiff, Embo, TW Officer Ass. There are also others like Savage and Quadme. I also plan to do Leia and Ahsoka as my next GLs after Rey and the touch-ups. I have the R8 and R9 and 9 materials ready for Ahsoka. Scout Trooper will get the Empire LST. I'm willing to change the plans if necessary. Leia will be R10. Rey and Ahsoka will be R9. No exceptions. I tend to agree with you that I just feel like any GL team should be at least Relic 7. Hands down. But I also think that if you stop to bring all your current teams to R7, you are going to significantly hold yourself back instead of pushing yourself forward to the things that are a little bit stronger for you right now. And that's something to find as a fine line, is what are the little projects to do versus what are the big projects that I need right now. You're in Kyber 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 GL. Let's take a look at these guys. Ahsoka, we're pretty far from. Leia, we're ish. Have all these things. Scout is getting your lightspeed token. You don't have any like sharding that needs to be done here. You have Leviathan. You said that before. You're working on some stuff here. Yeah. Catching up to GLs is tough, but I do think that it is important. I think that you are better served pushing for Leia because she's such a strong counter to a lot of things, that I think you're better served pushing for Leia right now than you are doing all of these little projects. Now, some of these little projects, the Sith team, Sith Empire, not Sith Empire, just the Nihilist team, getting these guys up, I would definitely do, not Scion, Nihilist, to R5, great, perfect. I would do that. I actually brought all of mine to Relic 7 lately because they were having trouble beating the Quad May. They wouldn't die, but they couldn't beat the Quad May tank. And it was hard. So I brought them all to Relic 7. But I think Relic 5 for now. Where are we on Peridia Patrol? You have them all at R5. Okay. R5's okay for right now. Keep that there for right now. Relic 7, when you start to go for Ahsoka, do that first before you do anything else. Malicos is a personal project, so, I mean, sure, do that. That's fine. But I think your first big project should be Leia. Don't worry about Jedi Knight Revan and Hoda and Bosch and Kirsten and Skiff just yet. We do want to go back and do those things. And if you ever find yourself with an excess of materials, and I know that sounds silly, but like sometimes you're waiting on something else and you have materials, then you can slowly do that as well. But I think Leia is probably one of the most important things that you could be doing right now. Okay, so none of these guys really yet. Leave this. Don't even bother with Secrets and Shadows. I would do... Leia will be R10. Rey and Ahsoka will be R9. How close are we on Rey? Oh, dude, you're right here. You are like right here. Did you even mention that in this? No, I don't think you... Oh, no, you did. Getting Rey in the next week. Okay, so this is all after Rey. Yes. So you're going to get Rey. Then I would just go right towards Leia. Right? I think I would go right towards Leia. Get Rey, go right towards Leia. After Leia is a good time to do all of your side projects. You did. I just was reading around. So after Leia, that's your time. I really, again, I don't think L3 is really that important right now. But after that, do your Zori. Do your Nihilus and Scion. Do your Malicos personal project. Do your DTMG to 5. After you've done those things, then do your Peridia Patrol to 7 and start pushing towards Ahsoka pretty heavily. We want to get you caught up on the GL, and Leia's going to help you in GAC. She's just a beast, and Ahsoka's going to help you with your ROI. When is the Scout LST? The Empire LST is... Let's see. Empire LST is in January. It's this month. It's literally this month. So work on everything else towards that so that you can get Scout. You have plenty of stuff to do for Leia before that happens. So I mean, there's nothing else for me to really tell you. It's really just about rearranging the things that you're doing to prioritize really Leia over burning a ton of side projects. Because she's gonna be your can opener. She's gonna be your Swiss Army knife. She's gonna be your, oh shit, what do I do? Oh right, let me use Leia. And because you already have profundity, you will be able to make use of Radis and Jyn Erso for that team. After you do Ahsoka and you want to start bringing up those other relic levels, again, I would do them intermittently, right? As you're working on all of these things, you could bring little relic levels up. You know, a pack comes out, you get the pack for crystals. You get the pack for crystals. You go, oh man, I have more relic material than I expected right now. Let me bring Bosch to relic 7. So then do all of the R7s for Leia except for Scout. And then while you're waiting on that, right? While you're waiting on Scout, what I would do is I would make sure that I'm at least slow farming these guys. And then you can do like 2 or 3 little side projects, little things. Can we form an alliance in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes? Yes, you can. Of course you can. I don't recommend starting your own. Everybody has one. Electriums, what does your raid look like? Because I feel like I am swimming in Electriums now. And that raid stuff comes in at the very low levels of that raid. I do nothing but buying up the materials. So then Huyang, you don't have to slow farm him. I haven't memorized the LSTs. I do have it on my left screen over here. But that is a what's his name? That is a Nooch thing. That is his graphic. You know, I give you, I'm going to be honest. That's what Vance would say, Ani. I don't see as much value in the G12 gear when it comes to, I'll show you, when it comes to whatever this is, this thing here, Raid 2. I get all my G12 gear from guild events. I'm constantly buying G12 gear right here with the Get 1. I'm constantly buying the better G12 gear with Get 2. I always spend my shard shop currency on Get 2. I know some people are like, I want to buy tokens for my Galactic Legends so I can unlock him faster. I think that personally, unless you're a big spender, that's generally a mistake. And people should be using it specifically. I use it on all because I have so much that keeps coming in. But specifically on the piece that's 360 every single time a refresh comes around. That's where I'm getting my G12 gear from. I just think that it's just too valuable. It's too valuable here. And you don't have to buy Zimbittles as much, but it's too valuable buying the Electrum conductors to worry too much about the other things. That's my personal opinion. Obviously, you're at a slightly different part of the game than I am. You're at a slightly different part of the game than I am, but I think even if you do like a 75-25 priority, you're going to find that you're going to start to build up your Electrum conductors a little bit faster, and you'll see just how important that is. I am constantly buying them. And I wouldn't say constantly running out of them because I'm clearly not, but they do start to kind of drop down over time pretty quickly. But that's what I would do, Hobnob. That's how I'd handle it. Okay. We have one more thing that has to happen today, or Xander will flip a shit. We have to do Egdraws. Egdraws has to happen today. So while we play the Egdraws song, please think about what we're drawing today. And again, I don't want no fucking like this guy juggling reindeer. Just tell me a character. We'll figure it out from there. All right, let's go.
He sought inspiration from mankind's truest arts. Armed with trusty MS Paint combined the greatest parts. He traveled all the world, went to Japan, France, and Spain. So when the light hits up his screen, we're asking once again, is it a masterpiece that's coming? Is it truly art refined? Or is it just the digital equivalent of shit we find? Oh, Egnards draws, Egnards draws. He'll work tirelessly and diligent throughout all of the day. Oh, Egnards draws, Egnards draws. Egnards draws, Egnards draws. Is that Vader on the screen or just a melted tray? Egnards draws.
Okay, so I see a lot of different requests. Obviously, as a reminder, the requests are Star Wars characters. It's supposed to be Star Wars characters. I see two that I like. I like the idea of Yoda and Chewie. That'll be very difficult for me because I do not know how to draw at all. And I kind of like the idea of Spider-Maul, but with Spider-Man webs. I don't know which one to do, but those are the two front runners we have right now. We have done Wampa before. I'll show you, we did Fat Phil dressed in a Wampa suit. Right? There are douche canoes in Star Wars. We've done Jabba the Hutt. Right? We've done a lot. We have built up a lot of different things over our time doing this. We've done we did me. Okay, we did Egnards. That was a terrifying one. We did Quiggo. We did Santa Vader. This one actually came out really good in the AI rendering that Sin did. We did the space vagina last week. We did one for Moonborn's birthday. Okay, I think the one that we're going to go with, because between the two, I haven't seen anybody really say which one they'd prefer. I think we're going to go with Spider-Maul. Spider-Maul. Fuck. I think we can handle Spider-Maul somehow. Let's find a good source picture. I don't like these source pictures very well. Sin is trying to make it more winnable. I've heard, he was telling me that. He said, oh, I've been talking about being an officer. And I was like, you're an idiot. Let's see. Need a good rendering. I kind of like this one. It's a drawing, though. Let's keep that on the background. This is a... So... Spider-Maul. Clone Wars. 3-hour mark. Fucking holy shit. Ooh, here's a source from the actual show. It's not actually a helpful source. Kind of a shitty one. I think we're going to have to use the drawn one. Okay, let's see. We are, let's use a color we're not going to be using a lot of as our background. So we'll use this. We kind of want an outline where his torso, I think, is going to be here. Got to go a little higher. And I think our neck is going to be somewhere around here. Now, we want to make this bigger. There. Let's get rid of this black line in here. Let's give it a deeper red. Because red is our primary color for the face. And we'll get some nice yellow spikes, the Zabric spikes. He's got a lot of them. Hey, Henry. How's it going? That one kind of looks like a penis. Go. Spooderman. Well, the whole point of Egdraws is that I can't draw. We did this as a one-off, one time, and people seem to like it for some reason. Okay, now. Gotta get some black. Around these spikes. I can actually kind of see the vision already. I can see this coming out. Like, okay. Okay. And I know I need more, right? Like, you can kind of see that this is going to turn into, Maul. I know I need more than that, but we need to get the eyes in here so that we can solve the face. He's kind of like triangle eyes. A little bit of a light. I think I'm gonna do like a light orange. For the eyes. Put them right. No, we're gonna about midway down. There we go. Have his eyes. We'll give him some red in there. We're gonna go back to the black. And okay, so now this side of his face seems to be very black. And this is like he's got tons of mascara on. Too much. And these have to be more. Okay, it's coming along, I think. Do something like that. We'll give him. I don't know how to draw menacing. Make his teeth maybe just a little off. Maybe he's got a little tobacco stain on there.